What is up, everybody? Today is Monday, June 16th. I actually took two trades. The first one was a break even trade, and then the second one was a loss. And I am very upset about that loss because I did kind of force it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was a little nervy in the morning on taking a trade that I saw, and so I fumbled in the PM session. I'm just being completely transparent. I did not have a good day today, and I am upset about it. But let's review what it is that I took. So overall, on the higher time frame, what we have going on here is that we have had this move on up since last night, and it looked like we failed to take out the previous day's low, and so we started to move on higher. My first target for today was this level right here at 22.073, and then the previous day high on Thursday, this high right there. I was overall bullish just looking at how the candles were forming. So when we at 10 o'clock closed above here, I was fully expecting us to move into this level and potentially having some kind of continuation higher. Now, unfortunately, as you guys very well know, we chopped for the majority of the day, as you can see. Once we hit that previous day high, we kind of just stayed there, and then now when we opened up, we finally retraced down lower. But anyway, for this morning, the biggest thing that I was watching was the fact that we would hold this 1 hour fair value gap, as you can see right here. And we also had a 15-minute fair value gap below, which we tapped into both and then started to move on higher starting from 9 o'clock. So overall, like I said, bullish bias. So coming into the first macro here at 950, I was looking to see if this would be a solid trade overall. Now, I did not take it because of how thin this 1 minute bearish fair value gap was. The entry would have been this right here, stop below the swing low, and then target that previous day high. It would have put you at a 1 to 1.36. I don't like that risk to reward at all, but had I done it to the actual fair value gap, it would have been a 1 to 3, which pissed me off that I didn't do that. And I think that's probably what I will end up doing when something like this happens. It was obvious that the draw was at 22.194, and this would have been the perfect trade today to take because we are just pumping higher. We are, I don't remember if we even had a 5-minute fair value gap in there. I don't think we did. But overall, right, with such aggressive buying, it was obvious that we were going to head up into that level. And so I missed that trade. That was very annoying that I missed that trade. Now, next you have the 1050 macro right here. There was unfortunately no setup whatsoever. There was no IFEG that I saw that got created. There's a very small, not even, honestly, there was really nothing here at the 1050 macro. And when that happens, where you don't have a bullish or a bearish IFEG get created, that's when you start to know that price action is going to be a little funky. So now at this point, we see that we sweep this high right here and we start to break on down. At this point, I see that we are hanging around here. We respect this 1 minute bearish fair value gap, moving on higher, then down into the lunch macro itself. In this macro, I believe, yeah, this is where I took the long. I wanted to take a short. I wanted to take this 1 minute bullish fair value gap short when it got invalidated right at the beginning of the macro. Entering here, stop above the high. I literally had the order set up and I didn't press the sell button. And that trade would have been a 1 to 2 very easily. I was targeting that level of liquidity right there, and then was going to hold some runners, which the runners itself would not have gotten stopped out. And I probably would have hit this swing low right there. Yeah, so that was pretty dumb on my end. But the reason why I hesitated on it, and honestly, kind of in hindsight, I'm happy I didn't take it, is because we had a 15-minute fair value gap below. And the order flow was still bullish. That 15-minute fair value gap was holding us. And so for this long entry here, it did hold us up. And I was targeting that swing high. We had this high right here and then the high of day, which that first TP was a 1.6 risk to reward. So I took the invalidation of this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. You can barely see it. It's very small. So I got in right after it got created. So I got filled in this area right here. Stopped below the swing low, targeting that high. And I got really annoyed that we moved on up and then immediately started getting in drawdown. And at this point, I was just telling myself what an idiot I was today for failing these two setups that appeared. But this was my model. Now the price action sucked today. As you can see, right, we create this swing right here, we displace above that high, and then I thought to myself, look, if we cannot invalidate this bearish 5 minute fair value gap that we have right there, I'm gonna put my stop to break even. And as we start to sell off out of this 1 minute bearish fair value gap right here, that's when I decided, yeah, I'm gonna get out of this trade at break even, because I did not want to stick around that much longer with it. So happy that I was break even here, right? I managed this position well. It was just unfortunate that we didn't get any further push to the upside. Now here is where I did the most stupid thing ever. But we had invalidated this 15 minute fair value gap right here. But according to how I trade with my model, I would have needed this 15 minute fair value gap to get invalidated to be even considering long or shorts. Yet I still stupidly took a short because I thought, oh, this is enough. Price action is acting weird. It has to retrace lower. I was predicting what price would do, which is the opposite of what I preach. So I'm very upset about this trade. I did get tapped in on a limit order. If you guys saw my social media posts on Instagram and TikTok, I got tapped in on a limit order. It was about a 1R. Both instances had a 1R, so that's annoying. And then, as you can see, I got stopped out. Now, the trade that I should have taken was the fact that we were still bullish on the higher time frame. It was bullish order flow. Here we have a 1 minute bearish fair value gap. And again, these fair value gaps today were so freaking small. I'm so annoyed with today's price action. But anyway, those small fair value gaps still held, right? This was the candle right here that I should have closed my short and should have entered long, but I didn't. I froze again, which is not how I usually trade. I don't know what was wrong with me today. So we also had the bouncing off of that 10 o'clock open, which added into my bullish bias. That would have been the entry. Easily to this high right here would have been a 2.4 risk to reward, and I did not take it. And at that point, I said I'm not going to take any more trades today. So that is my trading day. As you can see, I'm thoroughly upset about it. I wrote it down in my trading journal, and then I just was watching price. And then as you can see here, we failed to take the high, and then we get this 1 minute inversion only for Trump to get up and talk, and then boom, immediately get stopped out on that trade. So yeah, this price action sucked. And if you ended green, you're amazing. Good job. I unfortunately took a loss. I managed my risk well. It's not an insane loss. I'm just really upset with myself and how I performed. I didn't take the risk that I should have taken here, and that really set me up for failure today. I allowed my emotions to get the best of me, and I'm being completely transparent with it, right? Because although I am consistently profitable, I've been trading for 4 years, I still get affected by the things that everybody else does, and that's totally normal. Anybody who tells you otherwise, it's just they're lying that they don't get affected by it. So, you know, we live to trade another day. I gotta just relax, breathe, go to sleep, and then wake up tomorrow as a fresh new start. So hopefully you guys ended up green like I said, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.